Hey, this is Harsh, and you're listening to Us People podcast with Savia Rocks.
Hey listeners, and welcome to another episode of the Us People podcast, and I'm your host Savia Rocks. But before I introduce my guest to you today, I've got a few facts about him. So, he was off for about 4 years now, but now he's back with a soulful element and a different production style with some great producers. He started music around 15 years ago, performing at open mic sessions. He's also worked with a number of labels, including Sony Music, Ministry of Sound, and Capitol Records. He considers himself to be a singer-songwriter with a story to tell. Let me welcome you to Harsh. Harsh, welcome. Thank you so much for being on the Ask People podcast. How are you today?
I am not bad at all.
How was your journey down?
The journey down was actually quite quick, I thought I'll be stuck. Bit of rain, but, can't help that you are in the UK.
Fair. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's one of the things.
Yeah.
My first question for you would be, how old were you when you first started music?
When I first started writing, when I first started singing, or professionally?
Ooh, give me all three.
Okay. So I first started singing when I was 8, so that's 30 years ago.
Oh, right. Wow.
Oh, so you can figure out my age.
Yeah.
Thanks. Put myself out there. Right.
That's not a bad thing.
And I started singing at 8, and I started writing when I was about 12, 13 years old.
What made you transition from being a singer, like knowing that you want to sing, to actually start writing at that age?
I think my motivation or my inspiration was more like when I heard, and the 90s was Michael Jackson, was like Jodeci for our time, and I loved the way they used to perform, and at the same time Michael's writing was good.
Yeah.
But I loved Jodeci's melody, and I tried to put it all together
in one, kind of like your own style.
Yeah.
You were trying to find your own style, basically.
Yeah.
No, that makes so much sense. No, that's perfect. When did you realize you had a voice to sing?
Honestly, I didn't realize until I was about 13.
Oh, wow.
Until I was told that I've got a voice.
That's usually the case.
Right?
That is definitely usually the case.
Because I used to love singing, and I used to love just imitating singers. Right, so I used to imitate Michael, right, when you're younger.
Can we hear a clip?
Oh, God.
No.
Whisper 3 words and I'll come running. I can't do it now. My voice is very deeper now, but when you're at that age of like 8 or 9, your voice hasn't broken in yet.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So you will sound like a Michael Jackson.
How was it for you when you actually were 12 years old compared to when your voice broke? So how was that transition?
So that was a bit of a struggle. I'll be honest. It was an area where I wouldn't sing for about a good year, but I'll try and sing where my voice doesn't fully break.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I made sure that I kept my high notes going high and make sure it doesn't go. So I can still hit those high notes now.
Oh, wow.
So the whole falsettos and even going into your head voice, you want to kind of, I can still hit those notes, which is a great place to be, in terms of vocal scales.
Yeah, definitely.
An octave scale, you're like, okay, you can go from the lows to the highs and without any struggle.
Yeah.
Because when my voice was breaking, it just sound like I just sound like some sort of donkey trying to sing, right? And then when it finally broke in, it was like, you know what? Okay, I'm over it now. I can still remember the day when I finally sing again.
Yeah.
Right? And that felt honestly like the best day of my life again at that time. When you're 13, 14, like, oh wow,
it's prime time. It's prime time. You've just gone into your teenage kind of years.
Yeah. I mean, Did I mention that I do singing teaching as well?
Yeah,
so I teach as well. So I've got a student who's 13 now, and his voice is just breaking in.
Oh.
And he's had an audition for in LA. Right,
oh wow.
For Vocal Stars, and his voice was good then at the point where it was okay. He came back to have to record 3 songs, and his voice is breaking. I feel really, really sorry for him. Like, he's at that point where he's.
How is he handling it?
He's emotionally like feeling it. He's really emotionally like, oh, what do I do? How do I get past this stage? And because obviously being through it, you can kind of talk him through.
Yeah, which is nice because he has someone to talk to.
Yeah, and to be creative and say, okay, use your voice this way. So when it's breaking, make sure just go into falsetto. Don't try and hit your head voice there.
Yeah.
Because you don't want vocal scarring. So you want kind of.
Because can that actually damage your voice when you're going into the transition of your voice breaking?
It can.
And then you're putting pressure on your vocals.
Mm-hmm.
Can it actually damage your voice?
You can scar it. So you can tear it.
Ooh.
Tear your cord. So it's like how your cords work, like a curtain, right?
Yeah.
Right, it can tear your curtain. So and that can never heal.
Oh.
Right? And there's some artists like that. The ones from Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose, happened to him, so he can never sing again. So he went over, didn't train his voice, didn't warm up his voice, and now he's at a point where he can't sing. Just scarred his voice.
Oh wow, that's such a shame though.
Yeah.
Especially if that's your living.
This is why I always kind of encourage vocal training. For that reason of how do you put it? That you know how to use your voice before. If this student didn't come to me, he's 13 years old. He kept singing and kept pelting his voice out.
He would ruin his voice.
How would that end up at the end?
Yeah, no, that would be really bad. Yeah. How was it for you when you first performed on stage?
Shivers.
Ooh. So you're in that element. You're about to go on stage. What is harsh feeling and thinking?
So my thoughts were, can I do what I do when I'm not on the mic? First.
Because it's different when you're behind in the studio compared to when you're in front of
people.
And
that's what I felt when I got on the mic. Okay, his voice sounded not too bad. I was like, okay, I didn't know how I sound on the mic. This sounds good.
Yeah.
Right, not being big-headed or nothing.
No, it's fair enough. It's fair. It's funny, anytime someone comes in and we wire them up and stuff, and they're on the mic, they're like, ooh.
So, yeah, this sounds great. I could do a deep voice.
Yeah, don't see.
I won't do that.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, and I felt, but what I was doing on stage, even when I was singing, I'm trying to go back to that moment when I was at the Spot Bar in Covent Garden, and I was singing, and when I had my fake ID.
Now we know what he's been doing.
Because I finally got on the mic when I was like 16, 17.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, a long time after I started.
I think we've all done that though, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've all gone in with a fake ID or,
just want to sing, right?
Yeah, or a fake birth date.
Yeah. But that was good times when you could actually do that.
For years, I was born in 1982.
Yeah.
When I went into clubs. And then I said to myself, oh no, and then when I got to 18, I'm born in 1983. So it was one of those things where you realise you're like, oh okay, well we all get to that stage in life where we get to the age we're allowed in now.
Yeah.
But we want to be in.
I think we want to kind of. I mean, my thing was singing, so I wanted to go anywhere open mic nights. I just want to sing. I want to hear performers, right? And I'll do anything to get to that place to hear them.
It was inspiring,
No, and it was, right? And it's a shame we don't have many of them anymore like we used to.
It's a shame that I was trying to do some research on different places where young people could go as well.
Yeah.
Or any people just in general, and they are definitely not. No. Hardly any where you can.
This was one of those areas where when I was about 7 years ago, I used to work as a volunteer at a youth centre in West London. Yeah. Where I used to be in studios, show kids to sing, and be in the studio with them. Yeah. And it was so comforting to see some of the students do what they do. Yeah. Some of them actually been in juvenile prisons and whatnot, and they come to this, and it's to show them that you can sing. So I had to go on to sing first and get their attention. Yeah. But once I had their attention, they were, oh yeah, gosh, what can I do here? How can I do this right? Yeah. What can I do here? And to be asked those questions, I felt humbled. Yeah. At that point,
which is nice.
But what I felt is with these youth centres, as you said earlier, Savia, was they're all closing down. Yeah. Right. And there's no place for them to go.
There's not enough funding as well.
No, and even in Ealing, what's happening in Ealing is they're shutting down and they're making flats, they're making development, and then you wonder why these crimes are happening here and there. They've got nowhere to go. Yeah, you do.
It's so unfair. It really is. What is the most embarrassing moment you've ever had, regardless if it's with your band or in a studio time or when you're about to go on stage or even on stage?
Oh wow, okay. Oh, so this was actually on radio, BBC Birmingham, right? And my guitarist at that time, right, that lovely guy, and it wasn't his fault.
Yeah.
Right? Wait, it was. Not gonna lie. Right? I try to be
he
nice.
listens to this.
So he had obviously spoke something on his way.
Yeah.
To,
Fair enough.
To Birmingham,
wow.
right? And he started playing it in the wrong key, and I had to sing
In
the
that
track
key.
in the wrong key, and I was like, that was embarrassing.
But how did it go?
It went okay. No one noticed. You know?
Okay.
No one noticed because you had to kind of, as I said, be articulate and creative, try and make it like you meant it. Like it was supposed to be this way. You know?
What did you say to him afterwards?
I just looked at him.
And he knew, right?
He knew. He goes, okay.
He's like,
sorry,
sorry man.
Yeah.
I owe you a drink.
Literally, he was like, "Are you a drink?" I'm like, he was more like, and then he called me the next day and the day after. So I'm sorry, didn't mean to.
Oh man.
But it went well. I mean, he's a great guitarist and he's a great person. It's just that from that time, he just knew what he had done and he probably won't do it ever again. It's a learning curve. Right?
It's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Everything is a learning curve. It's never a mistake. It's a learning curve.
Exactly.
But it's nice that when you guys work together, you find the fun in it as well.
Yeah, of course.
So, and I think that's one of the best inspiring things that you can tell people out there.
Everything you can't. Oh my God, you let my performance down. That kind of attitude doesn't go.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't work.
I think that's what breaks up bands as well. You know? So
it's about staying together. Say, okay, cool. You know, one time I might make a mistake.
Yeah.
Right, and I would like to have the same kind of response. So always treat people like you want to be treated.
That's true. Right? I always say that to people.
Right, and you kind of want to hope that if you ever do something like that, you'll be forgiven as well.
Yeah,
you know?
No, that's true.
And have a laugh about it. You know.
Oh, that makes sense. You have a song which you're featured in, if I'm correct, and it's called Why.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the story behind Why.
Oh wow. Story was it's about my ex, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
we all have them.
Yeah, and it's going in and out. So what happened is she had not come back in terms of wanting another relationship with me.
Yeah.
Just contacted me.
Oh.
Right, and just say, hey, how are you? It's like, okay, really, really odd, really weird, you know, and got me writing. I've been thinking why we broke up, and now you're back and you're doing it.
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't understand why you're coming back in the summer again.
Summertime, summer love.
Yeah.
The summer of love, huh?
The summer of love. Eh?
That's a good tune.
Yeah, it is actually.
When you wake up in the morning, what is the first thing you do musically? Is it, for example, sing, dance, hum, tap your feet?
Sing.
Yeah?
Sing.
What's the first thing that comes into your head?
It's different every day.
It's different every day?
Yeah, it's different every day. I can't even put it down to a track.
Oh.
You know,
No, that makes sense.
You know, it's like whatever I've heard of. Sometimes I wake up singing a track which I'm actually writing, and I dream about that, and I kind of have the melody in my head.
Do you ever have those dreams where you're dreaming and this song just comes in your head, and you wake up and you think you wrote it down and you didn't?
Oh, don't. Savia, why would you do that to me? Why would you do that? Like, I feel that pain.
Oh my gosh, I think so many people have been through that turmoil where you're having this dream and you can feel the music. Yeah, it's amazing how dreams work. You can feel absolutely everything.
And you believe you're writing it down.
Yep.
You believe you recorded it on your phone. Have you had that one before?
Oh, yeah.
When you think you're recording it on your phone.
And
you wake up thinking, like, look at your phone.
Looking at your phone for the song. You know the title and everything. You can't find it. You're like, this is I'm
like, this nonsense. No, it's not right. But at the same time, though, when it does go right, and recently what happened to me, I thought of the last lyric of one of my tracks.
Yeah.
Last week, and I was sleeping, thought of it, and I recorded it. So when it does happen,
okay.
and I'm like, yes, I got the last lyric.
See, that's cool. See how it comes to you in so many different ways.
Yeah.
What is the best and worst thing about being a musician, a songwriter, and a singer?
Everyone has an opinion.
True.
Right? So I would
That is
say,
true.
right, everyone seems to have their views on what you might write, what you might do. So the worst thing is people have an opinion, but then the best thing is people have an opinion. So, and then if I put that in those terms, it's more like, you want their opinion because you're like, what, how does this sound? You want some approval
Yeah.
for what you do, how you do it, as a musician, as a songwriter, and as a singer.
Yeah.
Right? But the opinion they might have, or the approval, might not be an approval.
Yeah, no, that's true.
So you're like, okay, then how are you going to take that? Are you going to be offended by it? Are you going to like be okay? Be like, okay, that's fine, but I know what you mean.
The first time that somebody had actually criticised you or your music, how did it make you feel, and how did you handle that?
Oh, I was stubborn.
He's honest. He's honest.
Yeah. Just like, this is mine, isn't it? I just asked you to have listened to it and appreciate it. I didn't ask you to judge me.
How are you now when somebody says something?
I think I'm quite the same.
Listen, this is my stuff, yeah? I took my time.
No, honestly, I do listen if I believe it's constructive enough.
Yeah.
People say, no, I don't like it, but give me a reason why I don't like it.
Okay.
Don't just say I don't like it, because that gives me nothing to go with.
But what advice would you give to people out there when someone comes along and criticises them about their music?
Honestly, again, just be constructive. If it's not constructive,
Yeah.
go with what you do. Because you know what, if you believe you're doing something good,
Yeah.
right, it's your thing.
Yeah.
Right? People will learn to understand it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they'll learn to love it.
No, that's
Okay?
true.
Because nothing happened in life where people always liked it first off anyway. Right?
Some of them are growers.
Yeah. It's like when you eat some foods, you're like, you know what, when you're young you didn't like it, now you like it.
Yeah, we're always changing.
Yeah.
No, that makes total sense. When I was doing my research about you, you sang in an event called Save Our Hospitals. Yeah? How did that make you feel to be part of such an event?
Oh, it made me feel like I was doing something good.
Yeah?
Something I think, if I could make a difference, that would be a great place to be.
Yeah.
It's, again, being there for the people, and people need the hospitals, needs the A&Es, and people not fighting enough for it. And
That's true. I'm with you on that one.
And I think more could have been done.
Yeah.
And I wish more was done, but me to be part of it felt like I was doing my part.
Yeah.
I felt like I wanted to do more if I could have, but there's nothing else I could do but just do my music, what I'm good at.
Yeah. You also do, you do a lot of things which are really good things, but you also do something called Being Given, which helps homeless people every month on one Saturday in every month.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about it.
So it was created 3 years ago by my friend Amit, and he started it, and him and his wife, I think he told his wife, I just want to help the homeless somehow, some way or another.
Yeah.
When he started, we got donations from a lot of people at the
Yeah.
time. I still do. And we still have people like Wenzel's who also make sandwiches for us.
Oh, that's cool.
And
That's so nice.
to go out. So they create about 200 bags. Right? Bags with like water, rolls, crisps, orange, one fruit at least, socks. So we give one bag and we walk around the streets of London. We have a group.
Yeah.
Just a group like of 4 in each area of London. And then we just walk around, see where people are inside streets, see if there's more homeless in the parks and stuff, and give out food, we have blankets, teas and coffees, soups. So we would walk around a lot of things and just give them out to who needs them.
Is it a big group of you, and then you divide yourself into different areas and different sections?
That's right. So
but how do you find these homeless people as well?
We just have to walk. Sometimes we walk around for a few hours.
Yeah.
And sometimes we start at 6 a.m.
Okay.
Right? So we get to London for 6, and then we carry on until about 9, if have to 9 or 10. Yeah. And there's groups of 4, but there's 9 groups.
Yeah.
So there's from like Marble Arch, we go out to Waterloo, London Bridge.
Yeah.
We sometimes hit Edgware Road and those areas there as well. So we cover most of London. We want to try branching out if we can later. So there's also people in other places that need to be seen as well, because not everywhere is being looked at, and it's growing.
Is everyone a volunteer who takes part in this? Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a lot of people on Facebook on Being Giving.
Yeah.
people want to volunteer, so it's always a churn of people. But there's like 9 group leads.
Yeah.
So I'm one of the group leads for my team. So we go out and I have my team with me, and we keep changing every month.
Which is so nice.
Yeah, and people want to just do their part.
I wish there was more of this going on, like a lot more. Yeah. There are some nice groups like yourself doing this, and it's humbling to know that there are people out there that care about other people who want to help them. You know, living in London is not easy.
No, and the thing is, these people need postcodes and need a postcode to get a job.
Yeah.
You know, and if we could help that way, somehow to get them accommodated somewhere for, have some sort of plan, that would be a nice place to be.
Yeah, that's really nice. We spoke a little bit about it earlier. You say you're a vocal teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Now, tell us about how it is to be a vocal teacher, and what advice would you give to anybody who wants to come to you and say, you know what, Harsh, I need your help. I want my vocals to be, I want to be a better singer. Mm-hmm. How would you train them? What advice would you give them?
I would always, first off, start with breathing.
Yeah.
And I think even normal breathing should have been from your diaphragm anyway.
Yeah.
Right? It's a relaxation method. Yeah. So I said start with breathing and relaxing yourself. Right? And again, if you want to sing, don't overthink it too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Believe in yourself a little bit, and don't, what I always say to my students is get over overthinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. So you kind of just don't worry about it. Just go for it. Right? Relax your mind. What I find my students, when they're more relaxed, they just do it naturally.
Yeah.
When they keep thinking about it, it's just like more an effort,
Or is it when they're having more fun, they just freely express themselves?
Exactly. So what I do is I sit them down for 5 minutes if I have to, like in a lesson.
Yeah.
And we just go through like normal conversation about their day, about what they love, and then okay, let's go again.
Yeah.
Go, and they hit it straight away first time.
See. So guys, if you need a teacher, we have one right here. Don't worry, I'll leave all Harsh's details all in the podcast for you as well.
Brilliant. Thanks, Savia.
When you go on stage, how do you feel? What is the first thing that when you're looking at, okay, you're on stage, yeah? You're not back at stage, you're right on stage. You're just about to sing your first song. What is your feeling?
Nail this.
He's got confidence.
Nah, I mean, when I was younger, I was very like, oh my god, you know what? I'm shivering, and even now it goes. My belly just goes like.
It's like a
little churn, right? Right, it just turns over. But that's before I go on the stage. When I'm on the stage and I'm about to sing, it's just okay. I've got this. Like nothing bothers me.
Yeah.
And I'm in my own space. Where
it's kind of like your own bubble in a way, but it's a nice place to be.
It's like home.
Yeah, that sounds nice.
The mic is home only when I'm singing. I can't tend to speak in presentations.
Hey.
Right, but get me to sing and I'm all there.
See what I've seen a lot of your recording sessions in the studio. What is a day like with Harsh in a recording studio?
Some say it's a laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Some say, okay, dad jokes are coming out soon.
Dad jokes. Oh, wow.
Like, Harsh, please stop.
Can you be quite serious in certain times, or does it fluctuate?
Well, I'm serious like 10% of the time.
Okay, right. So 90% of the time there's a lot of joking.
Yeah, basically.
Oh, that's fair enough. That's fair enough.
But on the real, like 10%, that 10% is like me actually literally. It's a whole turn. I have like literally 10 seconds. That 10% is all in.
Okay.
I get that 10% 100%.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like when I go in, I know I just have to be finished at a certain time. So I kind of go in knowing that I have to get this track written or get this part recorded today.
Yeah.
And what frustrates me in the studio sometimes is when I can't hit a harmony somewhere.
Okay. It's one of those days.
Yeah, one of those days thinking, I know the harmony, but why can't I get it today? Like, what's wrong with me?
No, that's fair enough.
So that's the only time when I get frustrated and people know that I'm frustrated.
Tell me about what's it like. I just want to let the listeners know that if they wanted to get into a studio, how was it for you? What is the process of actually getting to a studio and starting to sing in a studio? Because I know the techniques from singing live to singing in the studio can be very different.
Very different, yeah. I mean, when you're singing on a mic, the difference is your breathing as well. You can hear it.
Yeah.
I can hear it now, right? Like having a condenser mic,
Yeah.
right, to a dynamic mic, which is a live performance.
Yeah.
Right? You can hear the difference.
Yeah.
A condenser mic picks up everything.
Oh yeah, we know.
And you know when you move from here to here,
You can still hear it.
you know you can still hear it. If it's a cardioid mic, you know it's a kind of hypercardioid mic.
Yeah.
You know the difference between all the mics. You know, and you know if this a cardioid mic, it's only pick up from this range here.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you guys listeners can see me right here. Right. And you know you have different styles. So if you go at the back, or if I turn that way, you can't really hear me.
Yeah.
You know. So, but you know when you are direct at the mic, how much it picks up.
Everything. Absolutely.
So what I would say to the listeners is, if you are in the studio singing, then make sure you are straight and you're not moving around too much.
Yeah. I always say that to listeners when they're in the hot seat with me, because they have a tendency to move, and then you can't hear them like you're saying.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, try and stay, but they never listen to me. So it's okay.
Am I a good boy?
No, you're a good boy. You're a good boy. You know. See?
I know how a mic works.
I've got a star for you later, so I'll give it to you. Let's see.
I want 5 stars for that one.
Well, he don't want 1, he wants 5. I'll see what I can do.
Thanks.
We'll hustle. Tell me a little bit about, if you had the music industry in the palm of your hands, you were one of the biggest selling artists out there, which will happen.
Thank you.
Yeah? I believe in everyone who comes on my show. Yeah?
I love that.
If you had that much power in the palm of your hands, how would you change the music industry, and why would you change it to be that way?
Wow, okay. So I used to love, maybe it's nostalgic, but 90s like music, 80s music, right?
Fair enough, yeah.
I still like them, but I still like the music now. I'm not saying I don't like it. It's just that some of the beats just seem the same, right? And I would probably, there's 2 things here. So one thing is I would probably be more creative. It's not going out if it's not like vetted by like 4 good people out there.
Yeah.
Not because of your image, but because of your music.
Yeah.
Right? So that's one thing. The other thing is, music should be done for a cause. It should be a cause. Like people like back in the day used to write for people. Like U2, Bono. You've got Michael. You've got Bob Marley. You've got a lot of people out there that wrote. Marvin Gaye. You've got a lot of people like that wrote for a cause.
They felt it.
You know? And it was something which moved people. You know? Music right now does not move people.
It's just an image.
It's an image, and you go on Insta, you go on social media, so people put photos of themselves.
All the same.
Sounds the same. There's no movement happening, nothing happening.
If you had that power, how would you change it? How would you change that?
I would probably vet a lot of people out.
Get out.
Right, if I had the power in my hand, like, okay, no. Right? And then I would probably go out into open mic nights and find people.
Yeah, that's where we all started out
Yeah,
from.
you know, and people are so creative out there when I go and say, how come these guys haven't made it yet? You know?
Yeah.
You think that all the time.
Do you think that it's a bit unfair that different people have different playing cards when it comes to success?
Yeah.
And there are people out there who have exceptional talent, but for some reason or another, they work just as hard as the next person, but they still don't get to where they need to be or want to be.
And that's the other thing about it. It's about the marketing. You know, the marketing team you have and how much you're paying someone to market you. It's a big difference. It's like when I see Robin Thicke and John B.
Yeah.
Right, both start at the same time. Robin Thicke made it bigger than John B.
I didn't actually even know that.
Really? So John B his marketing team wasn't strong enough. You know? But hear his albums and hear him live. So I've been to every single John B live in Jazz Cafe, every year. And what a performer he is. You know, from playing the keyboard, from playing the piano, from singing. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm not saying Robin Thicke, I'll give him his dues as well. But I just think how they were both marketed was different.
Yeah.
You know, and Robin Thicke had the great marketing team where Pharrell, you know, was on the case, right? And then you had John B who was making it big when Tupac was around.
Yeah.
Right? And then kind of fizzled out.
Yeah, for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think marketing makes a massive difference on how you are like put out there, no matter how hard you work. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it's the world we live in.
Yeah. No,
you can't help that, right? So, and just as you said earlier, if I had the powers in my hand, then that would change.
What would you tell people about if they don't have that money? Are there any other avenues that they could take to possibly market themselves?
So there's a lot of avenues nowadays. You've got social media, you've got YouTube.
We're lucky now.
You know, we're lucky in terms of how you push that, right? So that's down to you, though. Again, down to the performer or the artist.
Yeah, no, that's
right?
true.
Who
That's
needs to
definitely
push
true.
themselves, and that's where I think people fall down, because if they're working and they're trying to do two things at once, and I think to carry on social media, keep putting stuff on,
Yeah.
right? It's not always as easy as that.
It's time consuming. It's like a
Yes.
job in a job, really.
So you probably pay someone to do that for you too,
Yeah.
right?
Just to make sure that they're doing it the way that you want to do it as well.
Yeah,
Is another
yeah.
thing. That makes total sense. What challenges within music, I say, that you've been through, that you've had to overcome, that has changed your aspect and view on music and you just in general?
Okay, so I'll say performance.
Yeah.
For me, yeah. I mean, I was never a confident performer before when I was
Okay.
younger. I used to have a stutter as well. I
Oh.
couldn't speak. Like we're speaking right now, I could not do this. When I was 26, I could not do this. Right. And I was on a help desk working,
Yeah.
and one of my managers said, just take your time. As my confidence did, because I think in the past people spoke over me. So I tried to get my word out quicker when I was younger, and
Yeah.
I kind of get a stutter happening because I was trying to breathe it, and when I couldn't breathe enough to get the word out,
Yeah.
it made a major issue. You know? But I could sing, I just couldn't speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I overcame it by her telling me to calm down and having
Take your
confidence
time.
in me.
Yeah.
You know?
Take your time.
Take your time and kind of just breathe.
Yeah.
Relax and breathe and make sure your words come out. You know, just fluent and softly as you can. Don't worry about what other people think.
Yeah. I
Take
think
it-
that's one of the pressures within music, or just our confidence in general.
Yeah.
We're always thinking of what somebody else is going to think of us.
Exactly.
And as soon as it comes out,
Yeah, and this is what people say, always take time to think before you speak. And I think that's one thing I've realised is when I was trying to get my word out quicker, I realised that, hold on, maybe it's a good thing I'm not speaking now, because I can think about what I'm saying and calm myself down, then say
yeah,
it,
that's true.
and then put it out even in more of a better way of saying it. You know?
Yeah, that's
I
definitely
still get
true.
my point across.
Yeah,
It's a better way of saying it.
well, that's definitely true. That makes sense.
So I overcame, so that was my major thing was, if I was singing, if I was performing, to me to introduce myself, I couldn't do it. Because I couldn't, I should just sing and walk off.
Where was the turning point for you in that?
I think when I became more confident at work and music, like in terms of people say, wow, Harsh, you're doing really well, your songs are really good, I love your voice, and then
Yeah.
my confidence built up within
Yeah.
myself, and it's nice to hear, so having that being put to me the way it was quite nice. It was like, okay,
Oh,
I feel like I can speak, okay now.
you can be yourself.
Yeah,
You can actually be yourself.
exactly. And I think that made a difference, me going on stage, performing even better,
Yeah,
and kind of not thinking what people are thinking about me. When I'm looking at people, when I was doing it before, I was thinking, when I'm singing and that person got a bad fit, oh my God, I like my voice. I'm thinking what he's thinking already, right?
wow.
So now, to what I do now, I just kind of sing for them.
So what do you tell your students if they tell you this?
I tell them to sing for you, but sing for them too. So make sure you make it a performance.
Yeah,
So sing for you first off,
Yeah.
right? But sing for them. Saying, you know what, I want to perform for you
yeah,
guys as well. You know? People always say, sing for yourself, do yourself. That's fine, I can understand that. But you are still, if you want to sing for yourself, you can do it in the shower.
fair enough.
Right? But you are still out there on stage for a reason, because you want people to hear you.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? So you want to kind of be a performer, perform for them.
I like that. Definitely. If there was one song in the world that you wish that you had your name on it, what song would you choose to say, I wish I wrote this song? And why would you choose that particular song? There is so many.
There is, man. You got me in a place right now where I'm thinking. Which
It's
one
okay,
can
we
it
got a minute.
be? I've got two in my head I can think of.
Go on then, give me the two.
One's Human Nature,
Michael Jackson. Yeah.
and one's Man in the Mirror, Michael Jackson.
Okay, we have a big Michael Jackson fan here. Just by those two songs, but why those two songs?
Human Nature, the way it was written and the way the melody,
Yeah,
you know.
it's like a story. That's a story.
Yeah, and Man in the Mirror is what it stood for.
Yeah, yeah.
Everything it stands for.
Yeah.
Just I wish I wrote that song.
That is a brilliant song. Yeah.
And
I was just singing it in my head just now as you were talking to me.
Sing it out loud if you want, you know.
I haven't sang in ages, to be quite honest.
Really?
And plus, the listeners don't know that I used to sing.
Oh.
Well, now they do, but this won't come out for a while. So
You're going to edit that part out, aren't you?
No, I'll leave it in. I leave everything in. And I like it to be as authentic as possible.
That's good. That's
but
good.
then they know now, look, he just ratted me out. so yeah, the lyrics are, that's a really good song to choose as well.
And I think that is one of my top. That's my first, literally my number one song, Man in the Mirror.
Perfect. So, turning back the hands of time, do you wish that you could have done anything differently in your music career to push yourself forward?
I would say I wouldn't have gone to uni.
Why?
Because those 3 years I could have been doing more in promoting and making my music happen.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's the honest truth.
It's a really good answer. It's an honest answer.
But then saying that I met, when you heard that track, Why?
Yeah.
And Losing My Mind, right? That was with a producer called Phonetics, who's one of my best friends.
Yeah.
But I met him at uni, so I wouldn't have met him otherwise.
See, there you go. So everything happens for a reason as well.
Yeah.
So maybe you went to uni for that reason, to be honest with you.
To meet people.
To meet people.
Even if it's that one person, it's still, that one person made a major difference in my life.
Oh, that's really... But that's like when we were all in college together.
Yeah.
Me and Harsh went to college together. You were studying music technology at the time.
Yeah.
And I was studying sound engineering.
That's right,
So I always liked being in the back of things, whereas you, Harsh, you were more in technical, but you always in the front as well.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool, and that's how we met.
Yeah,
there, exactly. Which was really nice.
How would you have this moment right now?
Exactly. So everything does happen for a reason. Oh, that's one of the best things. If you had a chance to go back in time to one memory, which was good or bad, but has helped you become the person you are today, which memory would you choose and why that particular memory?
Wow. So that's a very deep question, Savia.
Trying to get deep with everyone.
Make me cry.
Hey. I've got tissues there if you need
cheers. You only got water as well. I got some water. I think this. I have to, before I think of this answer. So I think the answer would be one of my friends when I was 19 passed away.
Yeah.
So we were like Casey and JoJo back in the day.
Oh, tell me it's real.
And
Hey.
Right, and we used to love Jodeci, love Voice to Men, and sing in class and everything else. And when he kind of passed on, it was an eye opener, which changed a lot of things about me. You know, I mean, there's a lot of areas where I think every experience in your life builds your character anyway, right? Builds the person you are right now, characterizes you to be the person you are.
That's true. Yeah.
But this one especially made me a bit more stronger and a bit more. Well, I always have him as a support.
Yeah.
But now I haven't got support, so I support myself. I became very independent from that point on.
Do you mean you haven't got him as support in a physical sense? Because spiritually he might be there with you still.
Yeah. That's a very good point. I mean, I do always think of him.
Yeah.
When I'm singing.
No one is ever forgotten if you're thinking of them. They're only forgotten if you don't think of them.
Very true. Very true.
So that's all. I always try to push that to people and make them know that the person is there with you, and how are you so sure that they didn't make you go through these avenues and on purpose to get you to where you need to be and want to be.
Yeah.
You know?
Very, very true. I mean, this is why he's always thought of, because he gives me that joy, that smile on my face.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm sitting and thinking how many times we got chucked out of class, you know.
Oh, we all have. Yeah.
Right, and you two are singing too much. We sing that song for real, Every Little Thing I Do, and it's like, okay, you two are just gonna keep singing. Get out of class. Okay, fine. Right, and we just get out, not for being naughty, just for singing, you know. He couldn't sing.
Oh, hey, he was like your backup, so it was fine.
Exactly, we always had it, you know.
What is the one positive message that you would like to give to your fans so they can know a bit more about you that you've never told anyone else?
Accept change, right, and accept every experience that you have in your life.
Yeah.
That would only make you a better person and grow you. If you don't go through experiences and are sheltered, then it's going to be hard.
It definitely is going to be hard
when you're out there in the real world. So I would say to everyone, just accept change, but yet stay true to yourself. Be you. Let's carry on being you.
Yeah.
But just know that if you can't be you 1 or 2 days, it's not a bad thing. It's a good thing. You need to grow yourself. You need to grow yourself.
No, that's true. It's a nice message. How would you tell them? How would you tell someone to develop and accept the change? Because not everybody likes accepting change.
That's a very, very good question. How to accept the change? Thing is, being consciously aware.
That's true.
Yeah, because you don't want to accept change because of the fact because you're not consciously aware that you need to accept this change.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to be just kind of know it's a change and don't just throw it out. Don't just think about what could be good, weigh out the pros and cons.
Yeah.
Right? Of how this change could be better for you. Or could be worse. But you want that challenge. Yeah. And I think in life you always have to challenge yourself.
No, that's true.
If you don't challenge yourself, you'll be stuck at the same place.
That is the truth.
Right?
Honestly, that is the total truth. Where can we find you, Harsh? What is your social media? Okay, plug it to me.
Okay, my social media. So on Facebook it's Harsh Music.
Yep.
On Insta it's So Harsh.
Yep.
And on Twitter it's Harsh. Yeah. And if you want to find my website, it's www.harshmusic.co.uk. And if you want my vocal teaching page,
go on.
It's www.thevocalappetite.co.uk.
Oh, excuse me. What a name. Where did that come from?
I know, it's creative, right? I made it. I thought of the name, see? Because your hunger for music, the vocal appetite.
I like that. That's good. Tell me a little bit about, before we go, tell me a little bit about your song, Lost My Mind.
Losing My Mind.
Oh, Losing My Mind.
Yeah.
Okay, right, there you go. Losing My Mind.
So that song was based on the area where I was actually losing my mind, where I wanted music so badly, but society was pushing me another way.
Okay.
Pushing me towards working full time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and doing certain things. I didn't want to do it, but music was still calling.
Yeah. It's that passion inside you.
Yeah, and I couldn't give it up, even as we discussed earlier, for like when I gave it up for a while, thinking I could do it without, and I couldn't. And that's when I went away for a year or 2 or 4 years and not doing music. I could not. It was always in my mind.
It was there. But
so I was losing my mind.
Yeah, so that's when you know that it's your ambition and your creativity and your passion in your stomach. Like, nope, I'm not letting you go.
It's just in my blood. You know? I can't.
It is in your blood, literally.
yeah.
It's literally. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your family as well?
Yeah. So So as I told Savia earlier, my dad was a singer and he went towards the Bollywood scene, but he cut short because of 3 boys he had, including myself, and come back because one of the boys was really ill, me.
Oh.
Right. So he came back and didn't fulfill what he had to fulfill.
Okay.
And my granddad was a writer and a singer. So I guess I have them to thank for what I've got, both of them.
So it really is in your blood.
Yeah.
Hey, Harsh, I want to thank you so much for coming on the Ask People podcast today.
Thank you.
It's been enjoyable, definitely. Thank you, listeners, for listening to the Ask People podcast. And as always, please stay creative, stay positive and happy, and continue to be kind to one another.